Hey there taggers, we are up to some awesome stuff again. I'm Kubi from Detect Design, and today I'm here to share some breaking news from the world of Substance 3D Sampler. Before we dive into the video's topic, let's briefly talk about what Substance Sampler is for those who might be new to it. Substance 3D Sampler, a key component of Adobe's Substance 3D suite, can be thought of as a wizard that takes photos you've captured from the real world and transforms them into fantastic digital materials you can use in your 3D models. Let's say you have a photo of a brick wall, an old wooden floor, or a fabric with an interesting texture. Normally, if you were to just stick this photo directly onto a 3D model, it wouldn't look very realistic. That's where Samplers comes in. You upload your photo and Sampler analyzes the image, intelligently detecting not only the color but also how rough the surface is, how it reflects the light, its indentations, and even if it's metallic. As a result, you get a dynamic material that makes that brick wall, wooden floor, or fabric look just like the real thing in the 3D world. Sampler's capabilities don't end here. Sampler doesn't just create materials from photos. Its capabilities are much broader. Create 3D objects from photos, 3D capture. One of Sampler's most impressive features is its ability to directly generate 3D models from your photographs. When you upload photos of an object taken from different angles to Sampler, the software combines these photos to construct a 3D version of that object for you. This is an excellent way to quickly bring a real-world object into the digital environment. Generate environment lights. This section allows you to create HDRI environment lights used to illuminate your 3D scenes. So, Sampler not only helps you produce materials, but also enables you to create customized lighting environments that will realistically light your 3D models. In this section, you'll find filters specially designed for environment lights, which are different from those used when creating materials. This allows you to design dynamic and impactful lighting scenarios. Power to create materials from scratch. Even if you don't have any photos, you can create wonders with Sampler. You can utilize the rich library of pre-made materials available in the software, or use the texture generator tools to create completely new and unique materials from scratch. This way, you are only limited by your imagination when designing any surface you need. With these versatile features, Substance 3D Sampler means significant time and effort savings, especially for those working in game development, film production, architectural visualization, or product design. In short, it's one of the easiest and most effective ways to bring the real world into the digital 3D world and to create digital textures and 3D lighting environments from scratch. If you are looking to learn Substance Sampler from A to Z, covering all its nodes and various applications, you can visit our continually updated Udemy course. It's truly one of a kind globally, and will add immense value to your career. Anyway, that's enough background information. Let's get to the topic of this video. By the way, if you like the videos, don't forget to smash the like and subscribe button. Don't forget that your feedback is our energy. We are here with your support. Substance 3D Sampler 5.0 is out. With brand new features and improvements, your material creation experience is about to be taken to the next level. Ready? Let's dive in. A quick look at the new homepage and quick actions. The first and most striking new addition in Sampler 5.0 is a completely revamped homepage. Now, you can easily access learning content, sample projects, quick actions, and your recent projects all from one place. This will speed up your workflow and serve as a great guide for beginners too. Home tab. On the Home tab, you can easily access newly published information and updates. Additionally, the Create a New Asset from a File or a Quick Action feature lets you quickly set up projects based on your previous creations. This saves you a lot of time, allowing you to create repetitive project types with just a few clicks. As you can see in the recent section, you can immediately access projects you previously opened without having to navigate through folders. Learn tab. Moving on to the Learn tab, from here you can access several tutorial videos uploaded by the Adobe Substance 3D YouTube channel, specifically related to Substance Sampler. You can follow along with these exercises. They are all essential for material creation. I highly recommend trying out these practices yourself in your free time. Files. You can also think of the Files tab as a more expanded view of the recent section found on the Home tab. About Sampler and Documentation. You can access detailed version information for Substance Sampler from the About Sampler section. When you click on Documentation, you'll find detailed information about Substance Sampler's new updates, along with sections like interface, filters, and workflows, which you can see on the left side. Quick Actions. In addition to the homepage, the Quick Actions feature has also been integrated into Sampler. Thanks to predefined workflows, you can instantly fill your layer stack with commonly used layers. Accessible from both the homepage and a dedicated panel, this feature will save you time by eliminating repetitive tasks. Starting a new project is also much easier now. You can begin your projects directly from the homepage with the Quick Start menu, Quick Actions, or a custom project option. At the bottom left corner, you can see the version you are currently using. Creating project buttons. At the top left, you'll find the Creating Project buttons. From Open, you can access a project you have previously created through your file browser. The Empty Project button allows you to jump directly into the Substance Sampler interface without any presets. So, you can start creating your assets right away. When you click the New Project button, a window will pop up. From the Quick Start section, you can begin working by creating an asset type with predefined settings based on your needs. If you switch to the Custom Project section, after typing your project name, you can select the project type from the bottom, either Material, Environment Light, or 3D Object, and start working specifically on that type. Revolutionary updates in the 3D view. And now, for the most exciting part, the 3D view. Diving into the Empty Project. Let's not waste any more time. Hit the Empty Project button and dive in. All the exciting content is waiting for us inside the program. The program's new interface looks much more modern. We are greeted by a grid view in the 3D viewport that wasn't there by default before. Of course, we can toggle this grid on and off, change its color, and adjust line thickness from the View menu in the top right. Speaking of which, we can move these bars located at the bottom center and top right corners as we wish. Double-click on the drag area to change their orientation, or maximize them. Quick Actions. Your new workflow accelerator. On the left side, a new button awaits us, Quick Actions. This button not only hosts frequently used commands designed by the Adobe family for different workflows, but it also shows our most recently used commands in the recent section. I think this can provide a significant speed boost in repetitive workflows. By clicking on the square in the top right of the window, we can swap our commands between grid list views. How you prefer to use it is up to you. Experiencing the revamped renderer. Let's create a new material and dive a bit deeper. I can definitely say that the renderer has been significantly improved. As I apply different materials, I can noticeably feel that the renderer responds much faster, and crash issues have been reduced. Speaking of crash problems, I haven't experienced any yet, but perhaps some of us have. Let's apply a single terracotta material and a brick wall filter. A quick break. As you know, this video is entirely dedicated to reviewing Substance Sampler's new update. If you want more information about Sampler, you can write down specific questions you have or material applications you'd like to create together in this video's comment section. I read and evaluate all your comments. Alternatively, you can take our Substance Sampler course published on Udemy to get an A to Z series that teaches all about Substance Sampler, including example applications, the interface, and every command, making a big difference in your career and on your CV. Responsiveness and speed. The application is incredibly responsive and fast. The speed and feedback I get when changing the light, zooming, and panning are excellent. Clicking on different brick wall presets below also yields extremely fast results as expected. So, we can definitely say that Adobe has done a great job with optimization here. Samplers sometimes used to be tiring for artists due to its slow performance and lack of responsiveness in our workflow, but this seems to have largely been eliminated. Minor UI critics. Let's quickly change the height offset from the mist section and examine the results. Yes, the result is good here too. However, I have a small criticism here. The expose and reset buttons could have been positioned a little higher. At my resolution, they overlap when I hover over the slider, which can sometimes be annoying. I believe this shouldn't happen at any resolution setting. Let's see if the sampler team will take action on this. In the material section, if we try to control the texture tiles hue and value separately by pulling the value to 1, the window still behaves undesirably. It doesn't fully show the V slider, and I can't control the window down when I use my mouse wheel. Sampler, you just got another minus point from us. Also, I would have preferred the rotation in this section to be shown with angle degrees rather than a 0-1 slider. Enhanced 3D view and snapshots. In the view window, under the camera heading, I really liked how easily we can change our viewing directions for the material, such as front, back or right. Below, being able to easily access and change the field of view in degrees is also great. The accessibility of these settings, combined with the new Save Snapshot to File button waiting for us in the bottom bar, makes a nice combination. We can quickly capture an image of our material from any angle and now save it in our library. There's no need to use Photoshop or other applications in between, or worry about resolution inconsistencies. Of course, if we still want to load this image into different editing programs like Photoshop, we can use the Copy Snapshot to Clipboard button and paste it into Photoshop. My criticism here is also that when using the Save Snapshot to File command, it could have offered a few ready-made presets for resolution and popular file formats like JPEG. And if we could snap the close views like front or side view automatically while rotating our material within the 3D viewport using a shortcut like Shift or Alt, it would truly be perfect. At least I looked for it and couldn't find such a shortcut. If you did, please mention it in the comment section. Let's solve these mystery shortcuts together. Keyboard shortcuts and UI consistency. Speaking of keyboard shortcuts, I find it a bit old school that clicking on the keyboard shortcut in the help menu redirects us to a website via a browser. My eyes search for you in preferences keyboard shortcuts, they really did. You can visit our Substance Sampler Shortcuts website, which is one of the resources we have prepared for our Udemy course. You'll find the link in the description below. Also, to celebrate us starting to consistently prepare educational content for YouTube, I want to share a special discount code with you. This discount code will only be valid for 1 month. Consider it a small gift from us to our newly forming community. You can access the discount link in the description as well. We already had to frequently use F, frame the object shortcuts. Let's say that put it here. At least it shouldn't perform a different kind of framing when we press F compared to clicking the button here, right? Seeing the MS and FPS values in the left of the menu is nice. And it felt a bit like showing off, saying, look how well the program is running. Would be a bit crude after all. But honestly, I like seeing those values. However, we should have been able to toggle them on and off. Their constant presence felt a bit like the values were being forced into my eyes, and not being able to turn them off slightly triggered my control freak in me. But oh well, we still love you, Adobe. I wish we could toggle this value on and off in the top left using a shortcut like Shift F. Change up axis, a necessary feature with room for improvement. Finally, let's talk about the change up axis feature. I don't know how this looks to you, but believe me, this was very necessary. We can understand much better how some of the materials we create reacts to light by seeing how the object looks with its tilt. But if you absolutely insist on saying, "Hey Kubi, this isn't good enough, go ahead and criticize," then here it is. When you click this button, there are already two options inside. And the concept of the up axis might be a bit mysterious for beginners. That's why we could have turned this button into a flip-flop and just name it something much more intuitive like rotate the object or maybe vertical horizontal. This way, many more designers could understand it more easily and wouldn't feel hesitant to click it. Less is more, dude. Custom folder path for artists. Almost perfect. In the light section, I want to touch on use custom folder path, and I really like this feature. But of course, there is a but. This isn't a huge criticism, but if you had included a toggle named something like custom folder library or similar, so we could select a folder instead of a file and then see previews of our HDRIs within that folder just like the ones above, I think that would be a fantastic improvement. But our faith in you is complete, Adobe. You can definitely pull this off. And finally, in the light section, there is reflections. This setting smooths out harsh, almost hand-drawn shadows and provides a much more lifelike reflection. I really like this feature too. It's great setting, especially for previewing our materials applications in physics engines or 3D applications that use ray trace render engines like Blender, 3ds Max, or Cinema 4D. And of course, much fancier snapshots are an added bonus. Path tracing feedback and UI feedback. Lastly, I feel very uneasy if I didn't make one tiny addition. When we enable shadows, ground plane, and reflections together with the path tracing feature, we get a nice preview, yes. But if we could see a small bar or a visual indicator somewhere for the rendering process of the light or camera, it would be fantastic to know when the render is complete. The placement of the mesh in the bar on the right also felt much more easily accessible to me. But here, I would have also liked to be able to upload custom mesh that I had created previously. And instead of the three dots inside the menu windows, a single reset all buttons would have been much more intuitive and easy to discover. Performance and optimization, a big thumbs up. By the way, the speed at which the material preview updates when we save the project didn't escape my notice, and I congratulate you on this. This was a necessary optimization. Furthermore, there is a noticeable speed increase when we add a new filter, delete one, or toggle its visibility on/off, which is fantastic. I can confidently say that you have already earned a huge A+ from us on the optimization front. These improvements will significantly increase the usability of the program. Subsurface Scattering, a head scratcher. Alright, let's talk about Subsurface Scattering, one of the new render features you have highlighted. When I turned on the Subsurface Scattering toggle from the interior menu in a base material and increase the translucency, I still don't notice any change on the 3D model. To make it work, you need to first enable Scattering Color, Scattering Distance Scale, and Translucency in the channel setting at the bottom left. And then activate the Subsurface Scattering toggle in the shader section. Dear Adobe, having to jump from the menu to adjust these settings is truly excessive and tiring in my opinion. I believe we should at least be able to manage these settings from the interior menu within the base material, especially the sliders that appear after activating the toggle in the shader settings section absolutely belong there. Conclusion: performance is king, mostly. In conclusion, your performance improvements are fantastic, and from now on I'll be spending a lot more time in Substance Sampler. I tried to be as honest as possible in my assessment. It was also mentioned that there are improvements on the scripting side, but since that's not my area of expertise, I don't think it would be right for me to comment on it. I hope and believe that Adobe will continue its dedicated work and make Sampler accessible to even more users in a short period of time. Final. Alright taggers, if you've watched the video this far, thank you all so much. And if you found it useful, you can show your appreciation for my efforts by hitting that like button. For more content like program updates, professional software tips, and everything else in the 3D world, make sure to stay tuned to the channel. And feel free to use comment section to let me know if there is anything you'd like me to correct or improve. Until the next video. Hasta luego.